So I got a lane here, and we were having some issues with some the dampers. We've done all kinds of other tune-ups to these dampers and the tongs that pick up the pins. And I'm just going through and everything now, just trying to make everything last a little bit longer. So I'm going to show you what's happening, and then we're going to show you with the new fix that we came up just to get us going for a little bit longer. And then we'll put the new set in, and we'll see how it works. So I'm going to go ahead and start on diagnostic, and we're looking at the 1 pin and how low it is on the setting table as it runs and operates. It's not dropping it, but it's pretty low, and when lead gets going and the oil starts getting off the lane onto the pins, sometimes we get a few issues, and we're just going to tune up that 1 pin this time. So I got it in diagnostics. But you gotta wait for the whole setup and the tong pickup. And we're gonna look at the crown and how high the crown is up to the setting table when it picks it up. So hopefully you could see that the tips on these crowns here, the peak on the right in the light. The peak on the crown of this, to be sure that the table's gonna hold it up. I always want that crown to be, up under the top of the table, or so the edge of the table, the setting table. It's going to be about to that position on these crowns. So if you're seeing your crowns right at the peak or higher, usually they're going to fall out on you. At least that's what I've experienced. So I'm trying to get it to where those dampers and the tongs, when they grip it, it's going to be up that high. So try and lift it up here and show you. So when I looked at it last, lighting's not the best. That crown was basically right there at the tips. Wish I had a little bit more light. It was right there. But I want it, when it grabs it, I want it to be up a little bit higher in there to just show that it's secure. And we're pulling out these dampers up top in here. We've done all kinds of other tune-ups. You can see I've got my bionic tongs already done, or at least swapped out the press nuts, the speed nuts with these lock nuts and screws. And that's in another video. But today we've done everything else, and our brackets are secure in the table. They're set right. So we're just coming down. We're going to remove these dampers, and we're going to do a little tune-up on these dampers and see the difference in how it works. They're installed August 2008, so they're pretty old, but we're still going with them. We're still making them, still getting some use out of them. We've done a lot of tune-ups that I've shown in past videos, from adding some tape here to the snap joints to actually retrofitting all the lock nuts and screws to get them going and make them hold up longer where the press speed nuts used to be. Now we're having an issue where the dampers themselves are actually, it's hard to see. You can see that dingy spot there. I know they're dirty. We do clean our dampers, but it's actually starting to wear out right there in that spot, because it picks up the 99% of the time. It's going to pick the pin up in the exact same spot unless something hits it or knocks it out of the way, and then it shouldn't be there anyway. So what I've thought about, because our dampers, what they're actually doing is, since when it closes and the pin is here, the pin is actually rubbing continually through this spot right in this area, and it's actually ate away part of the damper. Maybe about about a 1/16 of an inch is actually dipped in from where the damper itself is just wearing off, just from the contact and the friction. So what I did, I know you can buy the oversized dampers, but I've kind of try and steer away from that. I've recommended that people probably don't use the oversized dampers, because you'll just degrade your tongs super fast. So what we're going to do is we're going to pull these dampers out, and we're going to pad the damper itself just in the spot, basically the 2-inch area, about where the pin is always picked up. And you can tell my lane oil is actually in the pin, and I can see the darkness of it, so I won't miss the spot of where to put the tape, and I'll show you some other marks to help you decide where to put it in there. First thing we'll do is go ahead and we'll get our dampers out. We'll set those to the side for now. And so our next step, I'm just going to take some electrical tape, and I got the flat lid, case lid. If you're going to do a bunch of these, I'd suggest getting something longer so you can stretch out a bunch of electrical tape real fast. But I'm going to go ahead and I want 6 layers of electrical tape is what we found worked out quite well for us. You might need more, I'm not sure. You don't want to stretch the tape out whenever you're putting it across here. We tried on a curved surface, the actual round side of the case, and when we peeled the tape off, it started to flare and buckle. So you want something flat to go across and get you 6 layers down. I'm trying not to stretch the tape if I can, just trying to keep it as even, just to lay it flat across itself. Alright, so there's 6 layers of tape on there. Now we're just going to go ahead and peel the entire section up. If I can get it to come off of there. Then we took the damper, and you want to go to the inside. You can see here your catches when you install it. And also on the damper here, there's clear spots on both sides. It's about 2 inches apart right here. And I'm going to go ahead and put the tapes at one dot there and run it across. I know it's a little long for this demonstration, but I'm going to go ahead and cut it. I can see through the back of the damper strip. I can see where those dots are, so I know where I'm going to cut it off. See, one's right in this area. Just going to slice that off. Be careful not to cut yourself doing this. And the other one is right about on the mark. Okay, so now with that strip of the electrical tape on there, go ahead and take your razor knife. I'm going to flip it over facing the camera and just shave it down one side, because we just want just the padding to the back of that damper strip. And I'm going to clean up the other side. I know it's rough. I would suggest using a very sharp razor blade to do this. Makes it easier. There we go. So all you're trying to do is just pad out just the back of that strip with the electrical tape. And it'll go easier on this next one now that I already got a sharp, clean edge started. Just cut down the face. And you can keep saving this, and you can get at least about 3, if not 4 dampers out of a strip of the electrical tape. There we go. So now I got it on both of these pieces here. Then you just take your tongs and you just trimmed it because you wanted it to still fit inside this channel. And with your wide end out to the edge of the tong, go ahead and snap it back into place. Make sure it's pressed in tight. Sometimes you may want to spread those jaws on the back side to make sure that they hold in well. But basically, I padded out that spot where it was low and had lost its actual width on the damper here. Now it's bowed out in the middle, and you can get a little bit more life out of your tongs that way. So you can try that out, see if it works. The issue I have now is now that I put the tape on there, I like to pull my dampers out and completely soak them in hot water and lane cleaner to clean off all the excess lane conditioner. But now that I have the tape on the back, I could probably jeopardize them soaking them, so now we just have to wipe them straight with rags and the cleaner. But we did try it out. It did seem to pick up the pins very well, very high. The crowns were up above the setting table. So far so good with that. We're just getting a little bit more life out of our tongs. And so now with the, I've got the tape, so I already installed, I got the tape installed on these dampers. I'm going to go ahead and put them back in. Be sure whenever you reinstall it that you spread these wings out here. You may want to stick a thumb in there or something and spread them out. So I can show that to you. If you expand them, at least they'll grip a little better when you put them back into the tong itself. Got the damper. Be sure to spread the securing tabs open on it. You don't want it to fall out after you put it in. Remember, the wider side goes to the outer edge of your tong here, not to the inside. Should be able to see right in this span, right where the pin is picked up 90%, 99% of the time. That's where the tape's padding it out. So I've got both dampers in both sides. You can see the yellow tape on that section. Same thing here. And we're going to run it and test it and see how high it picks up. So I've got a full rack set. We're just going to see how high it picks that one pin up. Hopefully you can see it. I believe I'm getting about a 1/4 inch higher out of that pin at the top peak of the crown, that it's actually up underneath that base edge of the setting table. Hopefully this works for everybody else. It's been working here pretty good so far. And I know I showed earlier we just took one section and did the piece of the tape, but my bee mechanic helped me out. He set up this plate here. We got a bunch of pre-made strips, keep a razor knife with it, and we just cut and trim it, and we keep it and we use it when we need it.